There's the go live button. You think we're going to make it? Are we going to make it? We're good to go? I think we're good to go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
That was perfect.
The Evan and Aaron Show presents the Red and Blue Soccer Chat here live in Central Indiana on a beautiful, beautiful holiday, almost evening. I mean, you know, this is wonderful. It's really cold, but hey, this is what the holidays bring. We are here. I am Evan, representing the Blues of Chelsea, and this is Aaron, representing the Red Devils of Manchester United. And we have guests, ladies and gentlemen. We have guests. We have Joshua, representing also the Red Devils. And we have Becca, representing the Blues of Chelsea. I'm just so excited. There we go. Yay. I wish you guys could hear this because it's really cool.
We'll so eventually have a budget for extra headsets and microphones
exactly.
And maybe an intern.
Yeah. So, guys, listen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Aaron, I got to say, we've got some, like I said, some really, really great guests, friends of the pod. What we're going to do, I think, is just let them start to wax eloquently about the status of our clubs. Is that correct, my friend?
Yeah. Let's just jump right in.
First of all, I need to ask, how's everybody doing? You guys doing okay?
We're doing lovely.
It's not the best result tonight, but we've had a few drinks and it's chilly outside. It's warm in here, and all is good.
It's always the drinks that make things better. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to shut up. And we want to hear from you guys, like, what's your take, Josh, on Man U? Becca, what's your take on Chelsea and their form right now? And then we actually will coast on the show through what you guys say. So,
go first.
You want to do ladies first?
No, please go ahead. Losers first.
Aye.
Oh, Jesus. And please make sure you have the mic.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting us on. We watch regularly. I hope I can do as well as Becca's guest appearance a few months ago. I think as a United fan right now, it's, you know what, we're just grateful that we've got a new manager. Someone who seems to know what he's doing. He seems to have a confidence in what he's trying to do. And, you know, I like what he's been saying about, particularly, you know what, we're going to have some tough times, but I'm going to stick with it. I don't want to chop and change and try and get results for the short term, but detriment the long term. I think the worst thing was Ten Hag came in with a philosophy, and by game 2 he changed it. So
agreed.
You know what, we may have some bad results, we may have some bad performances, but I think tonight showed that we had a good shape. You know, we looked confident. We looked. The players looked like they were playing for him. It's early days. Let's see how that goes. But they looked like they had a shape. I mean, at the end of the day, it was 2 set pieces. That was the main difference between the sides.
That was my takeaway, was that within the field of play, Manchester United were fairly equal to Arsenal on the day mostly. They've been running these set pieces for a while, so it's somewhat disappointing that we didn't see it coming. But that's probably not what they're spending a lot of time on in training right now. They're trying to get the game going. So I don't view it as a bad result for United. I've seen positives. Are you a fan of Amorim early on?
Yeah, like I say, I think he's got a confidence. I think the players look like they believe in him and the messages he's saying. Players seem to be subtly appearing off the injury bench. I mean, that's always a sign that,
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to play for the guy, and that's always a good sign. I mean, I think it's 5 years ago to this week that Arteta was appointed as Arsenal manager, and their most successful period in 20 years, they've won 1 trophy. Well done, Arsenal.
Right.
Yeah.
Cheer that we've won 2.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Slight burn.
Oh, no. Darn, the sound wasn't up.
Here we go. So, Arsenal, well done. You've won 1 trophy in 5 years. They had their moment tonight, but I think, United, they're a big enough club. The right backing, they now have a structure behind them. They've got a manager who hopefully has got a philosophy he wants to stick with. I think this is the most confident I felt as a United fan in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't expect us to be challenging anytime soon, but all I want is, I just want to see the team show up, fight for each other, and they look like they know what they're doing. That's been the biggest thing is, we've had some great results. The cup final.
Yeah.
We win. Totally unexpected, but it was like one performance out of nothing.
Yeah.
I want to see consistency.
A progression.
Yeah.
A consistent,
rather than false hope and then falling back. So I was disappointed in the result, but I was pleased in the overall performance.
Yeah.
Two corners, that can happen. That's West Brom in the 2000s. It can happen to anyone.
Yep.
But
Indeed.
no, I was
or United in the 99 Champions League final.
Well, that was a great night. That was a night before my German GCSE English exam. And
quick aside, have you watched the? I think it's like a 3-part series on the 99, the treble.
Yes.
It's
brilliant documentary.
It's wonderful.
I did force Becca.
I did watch it. I did watch it.
It's good.
Yes.
I claimed it was part of an English soccer education, but really it was just to relive the old days. So I was pleased. But
right? Yeah. So you can be like, I'm sharing this with you, and you're just like, no.
When we used to be good, it was. Nice.
Well, and I guess to segue, speaking of getting consistency of play, I want to say that I think Chelsea have achieved a certain amount of consistency that maybe even at the beginning of this season was still a little unexpected. Their form's been good. In I think it's one of those situations where sometimes where they don't play at their best and still get a result. They're beginning to do that now. Nico Jackson seems to be getting more comfortable scoring goals. How are you feeling about where they have been and where they've gone to now, and obviously today's result? So
yeah, well, gosh, being a Chelsea fan the last couple of weeks has been fun. It doesn't feel like doom and gloom. I'm probably not a great example of a Chelsea fan in the sense of I've only been recent in the last couple of years, and I came in on a high note. Champions of the world, near top of the table, all of these things. It was great, and then immediately it just kind of started tanking. It might be my fault. It might be mine.
Well, that's the end of Becca's time.
Yeah, thank you. But, and especially in the last couple of seasons, gosh, how many managers have we had? Yeah. There's been no chemistry of the team. Right. There's been no chemistry in the dressing room. Yeah. And what you said, no consistency. And so when you're watching that, it's really, really frustrating as a fan. And I've been someone who's been really critical of changing out managers. And I was worried about Mariska coming in. I was. Sure. I'm pleasantly surprised that he seems to be knowing what he's doing or whatever he's saying to the team to get them to be motivated. I think, again, the chemistry of the team has changed. It looks like they're enjoying playing together. It looks like they're enjoying playing for him. Yes. And I think, you think about the start of the season where we had the issue with Enzo of, things that he said in the offseason. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of issues, with the team. Sure. I don't know what that looks like now, but it feels like on the pitch, though, they're working together.
I mean, he's wearing the captain's pants.
Yeah, so something is going right here to make them feel more confident. I mean, we're now 2 on the table by goal differential. Yeah. We are now beating Arsenal. I don't know how long that lasts. I'm going to take it for now. Let's enjoy it while it is.
We're heading into Christmas. That's all you can ask for is to be within touching distance.
Absolutely. And earlier this week, our manager said that we've got work to do, but Chelsea is going to be the best team in the league for the next 10 years. You know what? Confident, a little bold, but I like the excitement. I think that's the most zest we've seen out of a manager for the last couple that we've had. So I'll take all of it.
Well, sure. I watched him in a press conference yesterday, and my first thought with what you were saying was he just seems calm. He approaches. He doesn't really get riled. They want to ask questions, leading questions, and the specific question was about, I think, trying to get his best players on the field, and he basically admitted, I can't do that because my best players are my attacking players, and Joao, Jadon, Nkunku, these are beautiful players. They're not on the field to play defense, so I have to have a balance. So I want to play all of these guys, Nico, Mudryk, all these really, really flamboyant attacking players when you look at them. And any team would love to have them. But you can't have that many guys on the field who probably aren't going to pitch in on defense, Cristiano and Lionel are beautiful players. But I'm pretty sure about your biggest defensive help is Cristiano on corner kicks defensively, and that's about it. Neither of these guys are going to probably do that kind of stuff. So I thought that was an honest point from him, and also kind of, I think, oddly would reassure fans. I get what I've got at my disposal, but I also have an obligation to you to try to win these games. And look, do you want to see 6 attacking players and the final score be 6-5 every game and we win some, lose some, or do you want to win a trophy? Yes. And I think Chelsea want to win a trophy.
I think, look at Carsley when he was the England manager. There's a lot of pressure to get all these England players.
Yeah.
You put them all in, and then they get beat by Greece. I think what he's done is he's got a balance. The amount of players Chelsea has signed in these last few years, you've got all these star players. The temptation to just shove all your best players on the pitch at the same time is huge, but I think he's brought a balance. Yeah. And he looks assured. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna leave my $100 million player on the bench because it's not the best for the team. And I think he's brought a balance to that team, and now I think the players are buying into that, and they're getting the confidence from some wins. And I think you're seeing that the team now where even the fact he's got a Premier League team, he's got like a Europa League team.
Yeah. That's where I was getting confidence.
Well, and
it gives, he's almost created an opportunity for players. I'm going to fight to try and get in, and the whole, for such a huge squad, they're all fighting now to play, and I think that's a big win.
Well, I think that's how he's earning their respect, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not afraid to sit players down and be like, you know what? Okay, fair enough. I'll get to play eventually, but I think that's what's creating this minutia of them being able to kind of gel together even better once they're out playing, and we haven't seen that in so long.
Well,
we either have players hurt, or it's just people with big personalities who are more concerned about making sure that they get their star moment, and it really feels more like a team today than it has in months.
Well, and it provides you the opportunity when you've got that many attacking players, and quite frankly, different types of attacking players. You're not going to confuse Mudryk for Sancho, or vice versa, or Joao for really anybody else. They're very unique. And I think it allows them to play some slightly different styles and systems based on who they're going to be playing against, and can really unbalance teams. And it offers him an opportunity to say, if I need to make a change in the 65th minute because this just isn't working and I need to bring on maybe a more selfish, dynamic player or maybe a more expansive player, I have that at my disposal.
The thing that shocked me today was, and I think the versatility of the team right now is really good, because Jackson didn't play today.
Right.
And we won 5-1. And so I think it shows that Enzo's willing to
five different goal scorers, if I'm not mistaken.
5 different goal scorers. The first one was Axel Disasi. And so I'm like, you know what? It looks like he's able to read the situation and read the game and say, okay, these guys are going to fit well in this game. And even though these guys would, he also remembers, hey, we've got a match on Sunday too.
Yeah.
So I want these guys for Sunday. We need to make sure we win this match, but I know these guys are a good mix too. I think he's got a lot at his disposal, and he's using it correctly.
Yeah.
He's using it correctly.
You know what's important about today's match too is that we were talking about this actually on our way over here, is that Southampton's defense is not amazing. And so today was the day to get the goal differential, play the players who could do that, so that when we come back on Sunday, get a win, but at least now we've got the tiniest of buffers.
It very much helped out.
It gave us the opportunity to do that.
One of their defenders or whoever lost his mind and just yanked Cucurella down by his hair. I mean, it was just kind of absurd. I'm like,
he's glorious hair.
We're all
it is. You're like, I want to get a handful of hair, but you can't really do it. You got to ask in the tunnel. You can't do it. You can't do it on the field like that. I mean, that just seemed boneheaded to me. And really, when you're already down to, I hope he apologized to his team afterward, because you put it to him. Southampton were already struggling, and now we're at home, and you get us embarrassed.
There are fouls that are worth it, and then
there's no
that are
reason
creative,
for
and
that.
One was. That wasn't even a fun one to watch. Like sometimes you watch it and you're like, oh, okay, like it's tough. Yeah. That's a cheap shot for sure.
Yeah, you get sent off for a late tackle, or you're trying to play the ball, but pulling someone's hair.
It just seems silly. And with all the cameras now, you're going to get caught. There's no getting away with it anymore. Even the referee didn't see it in real time, but it's like
more of a graceful kind of like Hey, it wasn't even that aggressive. So
It wasn't, but it's silly, and you can't do that kind of stuff. You know.
He knew what to do.
Yeah.
In order to get that time.
I don't even think Cucurella baited him all that much. I think the guy just kind of lost his head for a second. They weren't even tussling all that much.
Right. But you know as well as I do, a good defender can get under your skin and stuff like that. You know.
Sure.
That's exactly what happened.
I would never in my career have been baited by such things.
Oh yeah, right.
Despite the number,
Yeah.
despite the number of red cards in my statistics on my college bio.
I wonder how many red cards you got against Cincinnati Christian University.
I did not get any red cards.
You didn't get any against us?
Why would I? I
Oh,
was scoring goals for fun.
okay.
Why would I get sent off on?
With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much to our friends,
thank you. We
Josh and
appreciate it.
Becca. You guys are awesome. Thank you
Yes.
so much. You guys are just welcome on.
up the Chels.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. Hey,
Calm down. That's awesome.
thank you
Take
guys.
care, friends. Love you. Take care. Oh, man. Okay. I'm too young to be like, oh, there's Pooh right there.
There is. He is.
Come sit next to me, my friend.
I will.
All right.
Get us back to. It's good here.
Here's what I was impressed with, and we can go.
Yeah.
Let's go to the bridge. Okay. Here's what I was impressed with most today. This is what you're supposed to do against an inferior team who draws a red card.
Yes, absolutely.
This is what you're supposed to do. And I sat there and I watched and I was like, you know what? I was very pleased with the way that Chelsea looked. Their form, like you said, Southampton, the first 15 minutes of the match, Disasi comes in, scores real quick, but they come back in the 11th minute and score. It's a square match up to that point, and they were taking it. They were playing well. When a team that is subpar makes a mistake, a superior team makes them pay for it, and that, for me, shows that Chelsea is on form. Are they ready to challenge for anything? No, I do not, because it's way too early in the season to say that. And I agree with Enzo. I agree with Palmer. They both said we're not there yet, and I do agree with that. And there's two reasons why I agree. Number one, there's still the Sanchez question. He's played well. He's starting to get more momentum. I am starting to believe in him as a keeper, but he still has some things to show. He still has some things to shore up. So that's number one for me. Number two is this system that Enzo has, is this going to appease all of the egos in that clubhouse? Is this going to appease the Michaela Mudriks to say, okay, I'm on the Europa League team. I can work my way into some matches. I'm just saying. I hope it does, and it looks like it is.
I think if Michaela Mudric has an ego about where he is in the pecking order at Chelsea, then
he'll do something about it.
He needs to sort that out, or the manager will sort it out, because the reality is Chelsea has, look, lots of clubs would trade places with what they've done in the last 10, 15 years.
Sure.
But you've been without a trophy for a few years now.
Yep. 2020's the Champions League trophy we got. That's it. Yeah.
And, it's been a bit of false dawns for a few years.
Sure.
So I think that, I don't see big egos at Chelsea right now. I really don't. So I to me, that doesn't even really enter into it. I would have, if anybody would have had an ego, I think it would have been a Raheem Sterling, and he's no longer there.
Yeah, no longer there.
So you don't have that.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go. Oh, the drunk crowd. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to.
It is halftime.
I was like, you gave me the nectar. I
want to thank Josh and Becca for sitting in with us. They did a great job of giving some fan insights into Chelsea and Manchester United.
Yes.
But as ever, we want to thank our Chatham Tap hosts. who seem perplexed by things around me at the moment.
No, they're all good. They're
Well,
good.
anyway, big thanks to Chatham Tap. As you can see on the scroll, Saturday morning 7:30, but no breakfast until 9:30. Sunday 8:30 breakfast from the off.
Woo!
And well, chances are we'll be here. What's that? Oh, and Chatham Tap is a Toys for Tots drop-off space. You can find more information on their website and probably on their Facebook page. As always, Toys for Tots, I'm going to guess .com. I can't see it right now.
Probably, yeah.
But,
probably,
yes.
Sam, you
Sam,
don't have to
help
move,
us out
man.
now. Yeah.
It
there you go.
doesn't say.
It
It's
doesn't
okay.
say.
It's all right.
But
We're good.
I bet
We're
if you
good.
look up Toys for Tots and Chatham Tap Fishers,
yeah, we're there.
Actually, just show up. You know what Toys for Tots is.
And bring
you know
your
where
old
Chatham
toys,
Tap.
dude.
Chatham Tap. Well, I believe they have a.
I'm sorry.
They're supposed
I'm
to be,
sorry.
they're
Not the
supposed
old
to be
toys.
new,
No. New toys.
package,
New toys. Package.
Toys, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is again why I check the website because we are unreliable narrators. But big shout. We
Big
didn't
shout out.
even do these. But as always, love Chatham Tap Fishers and appreciate their hospitality.
Slinky.
I think we're kind of wrapping up a little bit on Chelsea there.
Yes. So shall we?
Go for it.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. There we go. Might as well do both.
Bruno played fine today. Honestly, Manchester United played fine today.
I have a question for you.
Between the lines, in open play, I thought we were fairly equal to Arsenal. I don't know the stats, I don't know the shots and all that, but the eye test to me as a fan, and especially knowing what we've been through in the last few years, I thought, we had moments where it was bend not break.
Sure.
And managed to do that. There were a couple opportunities where we could have scored goals. I mean, that Delote kind of redirect off of a kind of miss hit could have been a goal. Credit to Arsenal, they've figured out a corner kick routine that they can mix up and run guys on different routes. I still contend as players they should do better to defend it. But look, last few weeks that Amarim's had, he's there to work on patterns of play and where he wants guys to be and where their positional play is supposed to be. So they probably spent an hour at most on trying to defend this, and Arsenal's good at it. Credit to them. They deserve the win. They were better on the day. I have no issue with that. But I'm not mad about what I saw on the field from Manchester United going forward and playing defense. Still have things to work out.
Right.
But I'm liking this. I've said it before. I liked things under Ten Hag. I like things under Ole. So time will tell. But I'm not mad about what I'm seeing. And my big takeaway from today was Lenny Yoro came on and looked very impressive. He looked composed. He's long and languid. He reads the game well. He seems to be able to put himself in the way and make good plays, but at the same time, he seemed to be able to, when he had the moment, to be able to pick his head up and pick a pass. So I think that gives us good selection dilemma as well, because Mazraoui, in my opinion, has been the steal of the offseason for us. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. And if we can play as well as we did in this game in our next few games going forward, we'll beat those teams because they're not as good as Arsenal.
Well, and that was my question for you is, like, what did you think about their form today? Because I thought their form was really good. Like, they had some really great opportunities against an incredible Arsenal team that is inspired because not only of City's kind of downward spiral, but also because, oh man, I'm drawing a blank. Liverpool drew today.
Yeah.
And so it's like, we can pick up points. So they had extra motivation. But at least from what I saw, Man U was like, you may get one or two. You're not going to get any more than that from us.
I thought they
didn't give up. They didn't.
No.
You never really saw them kind of like oh, we're done.
Well, that's
no, they kept fighting.
When you press the Bruno button. I mean, I thought we saw a lot of fight out of Bruno, a lot of leadership out of him.
Yeah.
You know, he was trying to make things happen. And again, credit Arsenal's a very, very good football team. Okay, they read the patterns of play.
Arsenal.
Arteta has really done a good job with him. He's a good manager. I don't like the guy.
He is a good manager. We've got to give it up to him for that.
But he has done a good job with this team.
Sure.
I still think because of his mindset is almost exactly why they will struggle to get over the top. But
can you go deeper with that? What do you mean? That was interesting.
Well,
it was just really
it's
interesting.
it's kind of a psychoanalysis, but I think he's got an inferiority complex in a lot of ways. He desperately wants to be Pep. He never really won anything in his career, as far as I can tell, of any significance. I think he was in enough Arsenal teams that maybe he won an FA Cup.
Yeah.
But I think that he just is an almost there guy. And he's great. He's going to get teams very close, like he's done with Arsenal. But I think he's almost the human embodiment of Arsenal's inability to get over the hump because maybe they're a little brother. They're just not quite as big as they think they are.
So you're thinking he's kind of like a John Cooper for Ohio State who could never beat Michigan. Or wait, a Ryan Day. Okay, sorry, guys. I just kind of brought us across the pond because I'm still kind of bitter about this past weekend. But that's okay. That's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
I would agree with both of those assessments.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that actually does bring us across the pond.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so the ladies had a good day today, I believe. 2-1. I'm sorry, yesterday. 2-1 against Netherlands, I believe. That was Alyssa Nayer's kind of farewell to the game. Alyssa as a keeper.
Wonderful.
Hey, you know what?
Absolutely wonderful.
Love watching you. Love your career. Love what you've done in this sport. Once again, as we are creeping toward 2026, how are you feeling about? Hey, good friend of the pod right there. How are you feeling about the men's team right now? I believe we saw a couple of matches back to back against Jamaica. And how are you feeling about right now? The women's team, man. Emma's got them, I think, playing well right now. What can you give us your assessment on both teams?
For the women, they were friendlies. They had the match against England at Wembley, and it had moments of flair, but it had long periods of neither one of the teams really want to give away who they are.
Sure.
And also, maybe we're experimenting with some players and some aspects of the lineup. So is what it is. 2-1 over Netherlands. Good win there. I mean, again, friendlies. We'll see as they move into for the qualifying. Oh no.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, Troy. Hey, Troy, how you doing, buddy? He said, I love it when the screen freezes just as Aaron takes a sip and Evan keeps talking. In my head, I hear the chants, Aaron, air.
I do what I can, Troy.
There you go. There you go.
I think Emma's got, the women obviously firing on all cylinders, and she's really figuring out a way to bring through the youth. I don't think hanging on. I think that was the last manager's issue was he hung on to that veteran group just a little too long and relied on them a little too much.
Okay.
As much as we love them.
Yes.
But I think he just got the balance wrong with some of that. I think Emma's doing a really great job of, continuing to utilize Rose and Sonnet. And, obviously Nair is retiring, but, she's been playing for the last year. So, doing a good job with that. I have no reason to believe she won't continue to do that moving forward.
Right.
On the men's side, we went down to Kingston. We played on a terrible pitch.
Oh, it was horrible.
Figured out, we got
It was
ourselves.
like Cincinnati Bible College's pitch.
It was not great. Got us a 1-0 away win in CONCACAF, and I know people are like, oh, it's CONCACAF, but I tell you what, everybody's kind of got their banana peel teams that they can slip up on.
Yes.
And we've not been great going down to the Caribbean in the last couple of years. So to go there and get, what was, I think, a solid 1-0.
A gutsy
they put in a
performance.
performance. They did what they needed to do. And then came home to St. Louis, Soccer City, and really demonstrated some flair. Scored some goals. I would have liked to have not, I would like to have not given up the goals that we did. But I think there's an aspect of, if you're going to play a bit open, you're going to
expect it. You should expect it.
Give up some opportunities, and
Sure.
and sometimes they're going to convert them. I'd like to eliminate that. If you can, turn that into just 4-1, you're going to feel a little bit better about it.
Yeah.
But on aggregate, we win 5-2. We move on. Think we have Panama.
Hold, please.
I think we have Panama. I think.
Where's our intern? Where's the freaking intern?
I think it's what we're calling the Big Four of CONCACAF right now. So United States, Canada, Mexico, and Panama. And I think that's the case. So
Okay.
Who knows? We'll see how quickly Evan can navigate his ESPN app.
Hang on just a second.
But I liked what I saw, and
It's the ladies.
think about what we've got going on right now. Christian Pulisic is probably the in-form player in Italy right now.
Absolutely.
USA Panama in
March.
Okay.
So there you go.
So, Pulisic is probably the in-form player in Italy at the moment. He's gaining high praise. No question, Yunus Musa, Tim Weah, Weston McKennie are really playing at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
Malik Tillman and Ricardo Pepi are playing great in Holland for PSV.
Yeah.
I mean, we're really seeing guys play at a high level. It is Pac's job to figure out how to meld the different styles of play that these guys are coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Anthony Robinson might be Fulham's best player. Their best player might be their left back. And in that last game against Jamaica, he got deployed as almost a Trent Alexander-Arnold kind of role, moving infield, playmaking midfielder from the left side. I like it. Do we have enough time? Do we have the means to get these guys to gel and play and let him play in such a way to do it? I don't know. That's why Pac gets paid millions of dollars, and you and I work day jobs.
Yeah, that's right. That's
and
right.
do this as a hobby.
I think as far as the USA men's team is concerned, I think no GNUs is good GNUs. Because before, and those of you Gen Xers that are watching us, you know exactly the reference that I was making there. I think before, we used to hear news about the men's team all the time. We used to hear controversy about the men's team, like, oh, they're not playing this, or they're not doing this, blah, blah, blah. I really do think that the calm that Pac can bring to this group, I think that will serve them incredibly well. It's almost like Pac is like, hey, guys, we're going to have this. We really are. We're going to have it. We're going to get it. It's going to be okay. It's just a matter of trusting the process. And I know that we talk about that a lot on our show, about trusting the process. But I do believe that the men's team, they are in the midst of a process of switching over from a little bit of chaos to where they walk on the field with confidence and they expect to come out with a result. I think that that's what Pac gives those guys the opportunity to seize. And so I'm with you. I think that it's an exciting time for the USA men's team. The USA women's team, you guys have held it down for a long time. I think Emma's getting ready to take them to the next level. I'm not saying a better level, but just to the next level with this young talent they have.
I think she's got that opportunity, and I think she's telling these players. I think Io has pointed out, and Nick and some other people that our women have relied on an athleticism and almost a blitzkrieg kind of attitude of playing soccer.
Yeah.
While other teams have struggled with that, they've also reached a level of technical ability and strategy
absolutely.
that maybe
Absolutely.
we were lacking. And I think Emma is stressing that. Mm-hmm. I think she's demonstrating to these players that both are of value.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to encourage them to go back to their clubs and try to perform that way and live up to what these new managers are asking of them, because the game is progressing. I think the women's game is really almost at times showing us another aspect of how to play the game, because they may not at times have the men's athleticism, but the space of the field affords them opportunities that maybe the men don't get, and therefore can achieve levels of technical play and interactions. When I watch the top women's teams, Spain and England,
Germany,
and United States play, some of their expansive passing, intricate 1, 2, 3. I mean, I think there was a sequence in the England game where both teams played like 7 one-touch passes in a row, got cut out, 7 one-touch passes in a row, and I thought, you just don't see that as much in the men's game, because at some point the athleticism of a defender would have said, I can close that ground, and I'm gonna force you to do something else. That's not a criticism. It's a statement of fact. But the converse is, when that doesn't happen, you can pick out passes that other people can't. And can you achieve that level of technical ability? And I'm really enjoying this aspect of watching. The women's game has grown in leaps and bounds in the last few years. And I think it's that type of stuff. And I hope I sincerely hope that didn't come across as some sort of criticism, because that's not in any way I intended it. We're acknowledging the difference in style of play.
Yes.
And I'm saying I think that affords the women's game opportunity to do things that the men's game necessarily can't. And vice versa. The men's game does things that the women's game can't.
Sure, absolutely.
But I'm saying the women's game can do things the men's game can't, because of how they're responding to their particular circumstances.
Right, but
and we're watching our trident, right?
Yes.
They're
the
playing
triple espresso.
They're playing in such a way that we've not seen a lot of teams play. It's really beautiful to watch.
And this is the thing. I think that Emma Hayes brings over, because remember, Chelsea in the Women's Super League is not just is Bon Pastor, you're awesome, is an incredible force in that league. And I think she brings over that same kind of, not only charisma, but she brings that same kind of work ethic. She brings that same kind of drive to the U.S. women's team, which that type of stuff is enough to get a team past rebuilding and get them to just reload. And I think that's what she's done. She's like, no, we never rebuild. We just reload. And that's what I enjoy about watching our women's team. So, I mean, with that, there you go. Absolutely. I think it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to get up in there with the Hey Aaron segment.
Oh, let's do it.
The Hey Aaron segment. I had messaged my friend this week, and I was literally in tears because I was laughing so hard at some of the English fans. Oh, hi, Pooh. Hi. By the way, do you want to explain why?
No, I'll get to that.
Oh, okay. I was in tears because I was laughing so hard at English football fans and their shithousery whenever it comes to the chants that they do, throwing shade on the other team. And I thought about this. I said, you know what? I'm going to ask Aaron this. Aaron, what is your favorite, or what are some of your favorite, depending on how many you have, what are some of your favorite English shithousery moments or chants that you have heard that absolutely had you maybe on the floor just rolling, just laughing?
Oh, I often think, that this is a common chant. It's been chanted at multiple guys, but the fact that Gary Neville kind of laughs about it himself, and he says, "If Neville plays for England, so can I."
Yeah.
And I think that's I think that's funny.
Wow.
I think that's funny banter.
Yeah.
I think that's a good level of ribbing. And I don't want to come across as some sort of like.
I want to say, if Josh is still watching, Josh, if you're still watching, I would love to hear you weigh in on this too. That would be hilarious.
As somebody who played, I played college soccer. Played a little bit after that. Didn't quite make it. It is what it is. But I always felt that if, like, we'd get introduced for games.
Sure.
And there were some teams that would remember me, and they would boo me. They would boo me.
That would be us.
And I loved it.
I never booed you, though, because I knew if I booed you, like, you would score 10.
But I loved it because I'm like, well, I'm in your head.
Yeah.
If you've got a chant about somebody on the other team, they're already in your head.
Okay.
And then when you take it to extremes, like chanting about David Beckham's kids.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Chanting about his wife. I thought the fans with Adebayor and his mom being a prostitute and all this stuff.
No.
And here's the thing is, Adebayor played for Arsenal, leaves Arsenal and goes to City, and Arsenal fans start singing this chant about his mom and his sister being whores or something like that.
That's awful.
And he scores a goal and then runs all the way to the other end of the field to just give it a big one to the Arsenal fans. Yeah. And they have the audacity to be upset about that? Are you seriously?
Man.
I don't want to name names, but this if you come here in this group over here, they like to chirp.
Oh,
they like
man.
to chit
Michael and
chat.
Travis, we love you. We love you. We really do. But
the second you give it back,
hey,
they don't like it. So, when it comes to fan chants, first off, I mean, let's face it. If I don't play for your team and you got a song about me, you already lost.
Oh yeah.
I have already won by my presence on the field. You're singing a song about me and I don't play for you? You're singing a song about how much I upset you. Give me a break. I hate Diego Costa. I'm not writing him a song. No, give me a break.
Diego Costa.
Two, I like banter, but I think if you're a fan, you sing songs about your team. You sing songs about your team.
We love you, Chelsea. We do.
You uplift your players.
Yeah.
You are there to support them. You are there in their moments of need.
Yes.
And their moments of joy. When a guy scores a goal, you sing his name. When your team is struggling, you sing all their names. Yeah. You sing the blue, you sing the red, you sing your hearts out and say, we're the 12th man to help you get through this. That's your job.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm all for some fun banner. If Neville plays for England, so can I. That's cute. That's not hurting anybody. But if you're singing about somebody's kids getting cancer, fuck you.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron just went off. Guys, listen. This is honestly one of the. Man, I'm not going to get sentimental about this, but this is one of the best times of my week right here. Every other week I get to sit here and do that thing and all that good stuff. But guys, listen, we have reached the end of our show, and we are so going to be on the gram tonight, maybe depending on what you have to say. But ladies and gentlemen,
I could ramble like a mother.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We have reached the final part of our show, the Aaron's final thoughts. Guys, listen, we love you. Know that we're here. Some of you, once again, I want to reiterate this. Hey, we live in a country that we are in transition right now. And,
Ooh, is transition acceptable word to use?
We are in transition right now, ladies and gentlemen. And, yes, I'm saying it. I am saying it.
Conservatives are transitioning?
I know. Wow.
Simmons, are you transitioning?
We are here for you. We are here to support you. And, guys, listen, this guy right here, I know he's going to send us out on a great note. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Hey, Aaron, what you got for us, bro?
I may have brought this up before, but y'all don't care.
Hey.
Because all 10 of you haven't listened to the last 100 episodes, so it's not going to matter. But this is my Santa Winnie the Pooh. And I did not find out until late in my father's life that his favorite Disney character was Winnie the Pooh. And this may not be important to some of you, but if those of you who know me know that my family was huge Disney fans. And you would have thought it was driven heavily by my mother, and probably was. And she's a huge Tinkerbell fan. But last little bit of time we had left with Dad, my wife was like, "Hey, Daryl, everybody assumed it was Jackie, but, seems like you like Disney. What was your favorite character?" And he said Winnie the Pooh. And Winnie the Pooh is just he's just such a friend. He's there. He's there for all of his friends. He just goes and sits with Eeyore when Eeyore's having a bad day. He understands Tigger is, probably, I don't know, an addictive personality. But he's just there. He's just there for people. And I like that he's the Christmas version of Pooh, because it's that time of year. It's that time of year to be there for people. And it can be tough. I got to be honest. Losing my parents the last couple years, feeling kind of alone in the holidays, it kind of sucks, but it also provides me an opportunity for this nostalgia. And I get to look back and go, yeah, they're not here, but damn, I had these moments. But not everybody gets these moments. So I am going to reiterate to you that Chatham Tap Fishers is a Toys for Tots drop-off point. And if you don't understand what it means for a kid who doesn't have much of a family and has never had presents to wake up on Christmas morning and have some things under their little tree, then you need to contribute. And I know I'm supposed to be just for Chatham Tap, but I'm also going to say we rock the spectrum.
Yes.
My sister-in-law and niece run that organization, and they are also a Toys for Tots drop-off place. So if we rock the spectrum in Carmel, I believe it's on Main Street in the strip mall. Do your own research. I don't know what to tell you. But it is on Main Street in Carmel, and you can drop off there and also have wonderful children's toys from there. You might buy them and drop them off and just make that an in-house gift. But just want to reiterate, these are wonderful organizations, and they are bringing joy to people who, in an otherwise cruel world, would not be experiencing it. And I want to say that's something that my dad always took the time out and loved being at the boys' club. And If he saw that your jump shot wasn't perfect, he would walk over and help you fix that, whether you liked it or not. If you were dribbling a little bit wrong, or if you were throwing a curveball a little bit wrong, that man was going to come over and be your coach and your helper and your leader. And this to me is what I remember. That's the person I remember. And, well, it's the holidays, and I'm going to reiterate that shit. So let's love one another, and we'll get through this together.
Man. Gosh, just call me, you know what? Wow. Just call me Tiny Tim because you're Bob Cratchit, my friend. I'm just I don't know how that works out, but it does. I'm just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my friend. And you are our friends. Everybody's gone. Have a great night. We love you. And for all those people out there who are suffering, who are thinking that life can't get any better, hopefully tonight we help just a little bit, guys. We love you. We really do. And we hope you take care of yourselves. Hashtag Black people keep voting.
Hashtag gay people keep saying gay. Actually, everybody just said gay. You don't have to be gay to say gay people.
That's it.
That was just odd from Aaron's standpoint. Hashtag say gay, folks.
Love you guys.